This video, just like many other videos, are about applied music theory. The topic shouldn't be scary, it's really simple, and that's why I prepared for you a free mini music theory course. It's completely free, and it's very easy to follow, and it's basically the key that is going to unlock all the other videos on this channel. Check it out, guitarinfusion.com, but for now, let's get into this video. Pentatonic scales, they are used everywhere, but today we're going to take a look at a different approach to pentatonic scales that is going to make you sound maybe a little different than you might be used to. It's super simple if you know your pentatonic scales, and if you don't, stick around, I'll show you. Super easy, and you might sound a little richer than you might be used, at least a little different. That's coming up. Grab your guitar, I'll meet you in about 3 seconds. Hi, my name is David Wallerman. Welcome to this channel, which is all about helping guitar players develop their unique personality on the instrument. This is the channel where you're going to get some new ideas, hopefully, and develop them to find your unique voice. This is not a channel where you're going to find a bunch of different licks. This is a channel where you can explore the instrument and find new things on your own. I think there's huge value into that. That's probably why I talk a lot in these videos, but if you do the work, you might find and discover new things in your playing. Let's get started. So let's start with the typical use of pentatonic scales. They're awesome. Let's say that you're in the key of A and you're jamming over an A minor backing track type of thing. You might be tempted to use those pentatonic scales. And the first one that you might be tempted to use is the first position. Why? Because visually it makes sense. You're in A, you find your A on the first string that your line of sight encounters, and that's the low E string, that one closest to you. A is on the 5th fret, so you're going to gravitate around that position. And there's nothing wrong with that. The notes here are going to fit most minor backing tracks. I say most because sometimes you might have an interval, a note in there that might clash with the typical minor pentatonic scale formula, which is 1, root, minor third. That tells me that that is a scale that's going to work over a minor type of backing track. And there's a lot of minor keys, Dorian, Phrygian, harmonic minor. They're all minor because I have a minor third. You also have a perfect 4th, perfect 5th, and minor 7th. Those notes, those 5 notes that I mentioned, 1, minor 3, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, are found in most minor chords, minor keys. So we're going to stick with that, and those notes will work. The issue, well, it's not really an issue, but it can become an issue because your fingers are going to start to take over your improvisation, and you're going to sound very predictable. You know, all those. That's very commonly used licks. Let's break that by taking a different, simplified approach. So when your fingers take over, they tend to play things that they've played over and over. And when you first discover a scale, when you're learning how to play that scale, you play it ascending or descending. Nothing wrong with that, but your fingers are going to start to embed that principle, ascend, descend automatically. And within that type of playing, ascending a scale, descending a scale, there are consecutive notes, obviously, right? And here, the cool thing with the pentatonic scale, which is also the non-cool thing, is that we have 2 notes per string in that simplified position, that first position. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And if we simplify that, and we look at your fretboard, you always have a note that is close to the neck and a note close to the bridge. Left, from my perspective, right. So if I translate that ascending scale, we'll have something like that. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And oftentimes, you play a note, the next note will be the opposite. So if I'm playing a right note, the next one will be left. You hear that all the time, right? It's rare that we have two consecutive right notes or two consecutive left notes, at least when you're starting to improvise. Let's break that right away, and we're going to do a series of right notes and a series of left notes. And we're not going to do it like, here's a bunch of right notes. We're going to have more pitches. So if we break down our pentatonic scales, we have 6 strings if we're using a 6-string guitar. We have left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Instead of doing that, we could do left, left, left. That's cool. Is that part of the pentatonic scale? Absolutely. But it sounds different than that, right? Or we could do 3 right notes in a row. Right, right, right. That's cool too. So if we inject into our playing some of these patterns, that's going to start to sound a little more intriguing maybe. A little less traditional pentatonic-y than you might want to. I'm just going to play a little bit in that box here, and I'm going to try to inject some of these ideas. That's kind of cool. Skip some strings sometimes, that's okay too, or maybe I play 2 consecutive right notes. I could play the first string here, the right note, which is first string, 8th fret, skip the second string to the 3rd string, and I'm going to play the right note. Right there, why not? So I got a right, and then I'll play some left. That's cool. I think it sounds very different than that, right? That's the kind of playing that we're after here. To start breaking the habits, we're going to start gently with very simple exercises. We are going to alternate series of 3 notes. 3 notes on the left side towards the neck and 3 notes on the right side, still using that first position of the minor pentatonic scale. We'll start with the lowest note that we have on the low E string. So the 3 left notes that we have will be on strings 6, 5, 4, frets 5. Great. We'll do the same thing on the right side, so towards the bridge. Still following that position, right? So we got this. And we'll do the same thing this time from the 5th string. So that'll be strings 5, 4, 3. And on the right side. Left, right, left, right. And then descending. That kind of thing, right? Just getting used to that, getting used to the sound of it, and most importantly, really breaking the habit of the fingers always going to the next note. If it's a left note, going to the right. If it's a right, going to the left. That's really going to help embed that new concept in your fingers. Now here is where I want you to be as creative as possible. Instead of taking this in a very standard scholar approach, right away, before even mastering the idea, add some personality to what you're playing. That means maybe staying on a note a little longer. Or maybe attacking some notes with different velocity approaches. Just believing in what you're playing is really important. Just being creative is really important from the start, because if you start doing that, almost tells your finger that this is not just an exercise. I'm creating music. You're creating music all the time. Your musical being should be involved all the time. Okay, so we did that with the first position of the minor pentatonic. Let's take a look at the surrounding positions, because as you very well know, on the instrument you can play the same exact pitch on multiple strings, multiple frets. we're going to do that, and we're going to see our fretboard as a full thing by gradually adding surrounding positions to expand our reach. Because eventually you don't want to think in terms of positions. You want to think in terms of sounds. You should be able to play without looking at your fretboard and just automatically translate what is inside of you through the instrument. But let's look at this in terms of position. So we got our first position here in that area of the fretboard, starting with the root. So that's the one we've been playing. Let's look at the one just after that. That's position number 2. And if we build that position using that, it's called the caged system. Different topic here, but it's a narrow position. We still will have 2 notes per string. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So maybe we can blend both positions together. So yes, if we do that, we'll have 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But that's not how I want you to see this. I want you to see this as, depending on where you're focusing your attention, left, right, or left, right, like that. Okay, so we're going to kind of like switch different positions like that. Maybe we can start with left, right, and then move on to the next position, left, right. Starting on the 5th string, left, right, left, and right. It's a good way to visualize all those positions. Left, right, left, right. It takes a little used to, but it's really, really good. Left, right, left, and right. Like that. A hidden bonus benefit from doing this is that not only are you playing melodic lines, you're also building chords, because this is a chord. Is it a nice chord? Maybe. Maybe. You decide. You be the judge. But there's a lot of different things you can do. You need to be creative. You can maybe skip a note. Maybe left, left, left. So 6th string, 4th, 5th. 6, 4, 5. 6, 4. 5, 3, 4. 5, 3, 4. Anything you can think of that you want to develop and experience and experiment with is a good route for your practice session. All those little things that first are kind of uncomfortable become very comfortable, and they come out in your improv after spending some dedicated focused practice. It will come out in your playing. All those things are just naturally becoming part of your vocabulary. And the cool thing is that this idea can also be applied to any other kind of scales, any kind of other positions. Within any position, you're always going to be able to apply that left-right concept, even with 3 note per string scale systems. For example, let's take a look at an Aeolian mode. So it will have some of the notes of the pentatonic scale. We're just adding 2. We're adding the 2nd and the minor 6th. 3 note per string from the low E string to the high E string would be something like this: 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9 again. And then I kind of like to use a concept that I explained in a previous video, where I blend caged and 3 note per strings. So instead of doing 6, 8, 10, I'm trying to contain here the positions that will become 5, 6, 8. 5, 7, 8. All together, one more time. 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 9. That's the position that I'm going to use. So 3 notes per string. And you can see this, just like when we mixed 2 consecutive minor pentatonic positions, you can see this as left, right, depending on how you're visualizing this. So I could do something like this: left, right, left, right, There's a lot of different things that you can do like that. And if you can add this to your playing in a blues, for example, your blues is going to sound a little different. Still work because of the choice of the notes, but a little different type of phrasing. So that's what I had for you today. If you want to download some of these ideas and more, you can do that for free. I have tabs for you of different types of ideas using this principle of left, right, left, right. It's very simple, but it really sounds more complex than it is. It's a way to visualize the fretboard that I really enjoy, and there's a lot of discoveries to be made. So how do you get these tabs, which are in PDF and Guitar Pro format for your convenience? Visit the link below, enter your best email address, and I'll be sending you that right away. Make sure that your email is a valid email address. You'll also be placed on my newsletter. You can subscribe unsubscribe anytime, but I don't know why you would want to do that, because I send you free, valuable stuff. Anyways, get the tabs. I'm also going to throw in a couple backing tracks for you to develop that. All that for free. The link is below. And if this was your very first visit on the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. You should subscribe, because every single week 3 videos like this one come out, helping guitar players like all of us find new ideas, develop our voice to basically tell our own musical story on this instrument, or with this instrument, I should say. The story comes from inside. There's no hidden story in the guitar. This is just your tool, your pencil. Let's learn how to write musically. That's what I had for you today. Thanks so much for watching this. I'll see you next time. Practice well.